This was a stressful game. Not gonna lie, this was a stressful game. Enough to make you want to drink. But I can't drink alcohol, so I'm having a black cherry soda. So this is to you guys. So here, one with your boy. So I didn't get to see the first half of this game. I had to work overtime. But Discord chat was not great. I was, checking out the Discord chat notifications going off while I was at work, and it didn't look good. I came home, and we were behind. As soon as I came home and started watching it, we went on a run. And fourth quarter, Tyrese Haliburton showed up. I really got to see the fourth quarter in overtime. AJ Green killed us. Gary Trent Jr., who literally could not hit a single shot in the first half, came out in the second half like he was fucking Superman, okay? I don't know, he took some of fucking Mike's secret stuff in the locker room, okay, like Bugs Bunny did during Space Jam, and came out of this motherfucker in halftime like ready to ball, okay? Gary Trent Jr., if he's not going to play for the Bucks next year, definitely got himself a contract with another team, just the way that he just switched it on in the second half. Like, having a player like that on your team is very, very big. Not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs. To have a guy like Gary Trent Jr. who can be like, okay, next man up, it's me, that's a big deal. Now, Siakam didn't play well in this game. Obviously, Damian Lillard tore his Achilles in Game 4. So the excuse is now going to be, oh, we didn't have Damian Lillard. But you did have Gary Trent Jr., and I think Gary Trent Jr. filled that role pretty well. Even the 2 games you had with Lillard, if you're a Bucks fan, Game 2 was fucking horrendous that he played. And the first game, it was all right, but it wasn't anything to call home about. In some ways, I think you were probably better off just not playing Damian Lillard at all in the first 2 games he played. Mostly because he talked shit and then didn't back it up. And then, the second game he played in Game 3, Andrew Nemhard was locking that ass up all series. Okay, I'm sorry, I hate to tell you this. I get it. Blood clots, didn't play for a month or 5 weeks. I get that. But Damian Lillard did not look good in this series. And unfortunately, because of that, I hate to say this, man. Like, it'd be one thing if Damian Lillard played his ass off in those 2 games that he played before tearing his Achilles. And I get it. You can't really hold that against him because obviously it was, like a non-contact injury. Dude just grabbed his ankle. Turns out he had a torn Achilles. But if you're Giannis, I have a feeling you're going to look at that and go, okay, like we lost to the Pacers in 5 games. Bobby Portis is likely gone. Brook Lopez, who knows where he's going to go. They're going to renounce their rights to him anyway. He's not worth the $23 million cap hold he's got. Pat Connaughton's got a player option. Giannis is just... Kyle Kuzma fucking sucks. I'm going to be honest with you. Kyle Kuzma is just not... He's not the basketball player that Milwaukee needed for Chris Middleton. Okay, he's just not. But Giannis is tired of losing, and I feel like this was the final straw. I feel like Doc Rivers is gone. I feel like this team has tried a lot of things to make it better, and it simply has not worked. Okay? I understand moving Middleton was like an injury thing. The guy never played. You get a cheaper contract in Kyle Kuzma that just gets cheaper over time. With having 2 stars that make upwards of $50 million a year, that's an important thing to get. But Kyle Kuzma was not great in this series. He actually had a Tony Snell game where he didn't put up a single fucking stat in, 21 minutes? It's never good when you end up in that conversation with Tony Snell, okay? Like, that's the one player, you don't want to end up in that category, all right? I just feel like by the end of the week, we're going to hear about Giannis requesting a trade out of Milwaukee. Now, where he's going to go, where he's going to land, I don't know, but I truly believe at this point, because this series was so uncompetitive, that Giannis is going to find his way out of Milwaukee and go someplace else. And honestly, it's probably time. I feel like the Bucks championship roster has run its course. As soon as they traded Drew Holiday, I get why they traded Drew Holiday. They turned it into Damian Lillard, but that experiment has not worked, and I don't think it's going to work, if I'm being honest with you. So the Giannis thing in Milwaukee's over. Final seconds of this game were very, very nerve-wracking. Mostly because Gary Trent Jr., the guy who had been killing us all game, got the ball and then let the ball slip right through his hands to go out of bounds. And then Hallie took Giannis off the dribble and made a crazy layup to win the game. But the real thing we're going to find out about Indiana, and to be honest, Indiana defended the three horrendously this entire series. If you're going to beat Cleveland, you have to defend the three well. I get it, Donovan Mitchell is a career second-round choker, but the way you played this last game, and the way you just defended Gary Trent Jr. and AJ Green as a whole in this series is not going to win it for you against Cleveland, okay? Yeah, we can be happy about the win, all right? We're happy tonight, but it's just the idea, when you go into Cleveland, you can't leave Darius Garland open, okay? You can't leave Donovan Mitchell open. You can't leave Max Strus open, okay? You can't leave DeAndre Hunter open. They have some shooters on that team. Ty Jerome is like TJ McConnell 2.0. He's actually in conversation as Sixth Man of the Year this year, okay? I know a lot of people want to look at Cleveland and say, oh, yeah, we're going to fucking sweep them. Okay, it's not going to happen. I'm just going to let you know, we are not sweeping Cleveland. All right? We could beat Cleveland. But if you think we're sweeping them, okay, I got beachfront property in Alaska to sell you. Okay? Or beachfront property on fucking Mars to sell you. Cleveland is a very, very good team. And I think they deserve a little respect. All right, I'm not saying, obviously I get it. They don't have the playoff experience that we do, but Kenny Atkinson is a good coach. And yeah, Cleveland's been a good regular season team. But the thing is, if a team is really, really good in the regular season, it's not by a fluke. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're just going to get to the playoffs and just fucking lay down to you, okay? The playoffs are different, but it's not that fucking different, all right? Yeah, defense is played, but Cleveland is a solid unit, and they have the Defensive Player of the Year candidate on their team in Evan Mobley. I don't know if he actually won that award yet, but Evan Mobley was in Defensive Player of the Year conversations, all right? So let's give them their flowers, all right? They're here for a fucking reason. But if you're Indiana, if you're the Pacers, you cannot defend Cleveland the way you defended Milwaukee. You just can't. You can't let Gary Trent Jr. and AJ Green get open threes, okay? Like you did in the Bucks series, you can't do that. You can't let Max Strus, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, DeAndre Hunter, everyone and their fucking mother just get open threes, all right? Unfortunately, this is a series we're going to have to play some serious man-to-man defense because you're not going to be able to just leave anybody open. And obviously, Cleveland doesn't have a player like Giannis where you have to double team him once he gets into the paint. But it's still something to keep in mind. It's something to keep in mind. I hope the Pacers play better defense. I'm kind of glad this series is over because it became very obvious that they wanted to shut down Pascal Siakam after the first couple games. Siakam was really killing them in games 1 and 2. And they didn't want to let that happen again. So, they changed their plan against Siakam. They, changed his looks a little bit, tried not to let him get open looks in the paint. In this game specifically, Pascal had a couple open shots. He just wasn't hitting them. But I don't expect Giannis, or Pascal Siakam to play like that in the Cleveland series. Yeah, you are going to have Evan Mobley on you. Sucks. But and Evan Mobley's a great defender. But I do think Pascal Siakam is a very, very good offensive player. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league. Especially when, considering like the attention is, people look at Siakam and are like, oh, he's not an all-star, but dude's playing out of his fucking mind this year. So the Pacers are going to have to come up with another strategy. If there were ever a series that Ben Mathurin were going to become the third guy, it's this Cleveland series, man. It's this Cleveland series. Because the first game, they're probably going to start Max Strus against us. And obviously, we're going to start Aaron Nesmith. I think Nesmith has been playing out of his mind the entire series. Nesmith has been phenomenal all year. He's been phenomenal in the playoffs. He's one guy that I think you just can't even consider trading this offseason, especially with how good his contract is. But against Cleveland, the bench unit is going to be very key. And if there were ever a time for Ben Mathurin to turn into a star, it's going to be this series. So If there were ever a time for Ben Mathurin to take that next step, it's against Cleveland. And I hope so. You know, he got his first taste of playoff basketball against Milwaukee. There were a couple moments where Ben Mathurin tried to do his own thing. Wasn't super pleased with it, but like I get it, you know, like he's a young blood in his first playoffs. He was trying to get some, you know what I'm saying? I get that. So I can respect that. I can understand that. But the whole team, man, I hate to say it, but the whole team is going to have to be better against Cleveland. You cannot give up open threes to Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell like you gave up to AJ Green and Gary Trent Jr. You just fucking can't. Darius Garland's balling this year. Donovan Mitchell's been balling this year. Their whole team has just been on it all year. So even DeAndre Hunter looks like he's a little bit of a better player since he went to Cleveland. So I don't know, man. You know what? I'm glad the Milwaukee series is in the books. Enjoy it until we play game 1 against Cleveland. I'm not sure when that series starts, but just enjoy it while you can, because this series against Cleveland, I'm telling you, man, is not going to be a joke. Anybody who's out there telling you we're going to fucking sweep Cleveland is high off galaxy gas. Okay, I'm just gonna let you know. They're huffing the fucking galaxy gas, and they need to calm the fuck down a little bit. All right? Give Cleveland their respect. Give them their flowers, okay? They're here for a reason. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.